All right, open your Bibles with me to Matthew chapter 25. We've been teaching on destiny. I didn't realize that this teaching on destiny would be this long or would actually go in all these directions. It was supposed to be something quick, but you know, that's how it is. Sometimes you get in the Word and you start seeing more and you want to share. You want to be a blessing to folk and share some things. But we talked about in what I'm calling Vision 1 of Destiny. There's several keys to destiny, several important things that to destiny, and we're going to look at some more. But we looked at it, what I'm calling now Division 1 of it is marriage and the importance of marriage and destiny. We're not going to go back over that. And then now we're looking at another important feature or component of destiny or reaching your destiny. I'm not even going to go back and explain what destiny is at this point. But that is money. You need money to reach your destiny. Amen. Thank you for those two amens up in the front. Maybe most of you don't know your destiny, but you must realize that your destiny is a lot bigger than what you're living right now. Amen. And here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing about it is that most people live and die and never fulfill or reach their destiny. Yeah. And one of the reasons why they never reach it is because people aren't taught to dream. Amen. Amen. You understand what I'm saying? People are, there's nothing wrong with being practical and pragmatic, but as children, we dream. We dream about being something great or doing something great or having something great, achieving something great. And then as we get older and older and older, then we begin to be taught by others that we need to be responsible and we need to turn loose our dreams. Now don't misunderstand me. I believe there are certain dreams that people have that they need to have a plan B for. Amen. Like, I'll give you an example. Like sports. There's only 1%. I don't care what you say. Only 1% of folks will ever become professional athletes. It may be less than that. I don't know what it is, but it's certainly not more than 1%. So no matter how you work, no matter how you train, no matter what you do, some people just will never jump higher than this off the ground. They don't care what you do. They just can't jump any higher than that. All right? Some people will never have a good jump shot. Just something about, it amazes me when I shoot jumpers and make them, how do we do that? How does the brain process that? Well, part of it is repetition, but some folks can't get it at all. Y'all, anybody understand what I'm saying? Or whether it's running fast or throwing or whatever the case may be, some people just won't have that ability. My sister was telling me about one of the coaches, which I should have let him be my baseball coach, but he told me that later. It was too late. But Richard Davis, he's deceased now. But at his funeral, one of the kids that he coached, he knew this kid wanted to play pro ball, and he put Richard Davis. He put a lot of people in the pros. A lot of kids in the pros. Yes. I could name some of them. Someone played for the Dodgers. We could name Cincinnati, different team. But this kid wanted to be a pro like the rest of them. But he looked at him and he said, "Buddy, you just don't have it." That was hard to hear. So he said, "What you need to do is you need to become an umpire. Go to umpire school." You know what he became? A professional umpire. Because he just didn't have it. Okay? So if you have like a career that you want to be a baseball player or a football player or maybe an actor or something like that, you do need a plan B. Because there's only a certain percentage of people that are going to make it in that area. But in other areas, don't let anybody steal your dream. Amen. I say don't let anybody steal your dream. Amen. And if you lost your dream, somebody's stolen your dream, go back and recapture your dream. You may be just working in a mediocre, mundane job or something along that line, barely getting along, barely paying the bills, and you just don't like going to work every day, and you're tired, and you're whatever, and da-da-da-da. What is it that you wanted to do when you were growing up? Now, everybody's dream doesn't have to be the same. Somebody's dream could be a fireman. Okay, all right. Go to Matthew chapter, what did I say? 25. Because money is, we already read in Ecclesiastes that money answers all things. Now, here to me is where the church is really goofy. Matthew 25 and verse 14. We have verse 14, say amen.
Amen.
All right, enough of y'all saying amen for me. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country. I don't know if we went over this, but the man that's been likened unto is Jesus. The far country is heaven, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. That's us, the church. Now, I know some Word of Faith people will say, well, that couldn't be us because they're servants, or servants and we're sons. But we're sons who choose to serve. We're sons that are called to serve along with God. All right? The Bible says the servant of the Lord must not strive. So we are servants of the Lord. All right? Anyway, and to one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1. Now, for years in church, you know, we had, remember in school we used to have what kind of shows? Talent shows. Yeah. And so, you know, they used to say in church, well, if, you know, when they taught this, they taught it based on your talents, your ability to sing, your ability to soul, you know, your ability to serve in some capacity. But that's not what this is talking about. Talent here is an amount of money. You know, money, weights and things change, but most of the commentaries refer to it as like 1,000 pieces of silver. What it was actually worth, I can't say. But it says, to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, so 5,000 pieces of silver, to another 2,000 pieces of silver, and to another 1,000 pieces of silver. Then he who received, verse 16 says, then he who received the 5 talents, now I'm in the New King James, notice what it said, went and what? Traded. Now, if you've ever watched anything about the stock market, you hear it sometimes referred to as the trading floor. So that's just one, but that's just one way that you can go and trade. So we can say it then, invest, or be an investor, right? So he traded with them and made another 5. And the upshot of the story is here, verse 18, but he who, verse 17, and likewise he who received 2 gained 2 more also. So they doubled their money, right? But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid. Now see, here's something that for all these years, even though, now some of y'all grew up in church. I didn't grow up in church, but I've been in church since I was 17. I didn't grow up as a kid, but I've been in church since I was 17. How many of y'all that grew up in church a long time ago would say, when this was normally taught, they referred to talents as skills and abilities? Yeah. So the pastor would get up on Sunday and say, see, this verse is saying, if you're in here and you can sing, and you don't use your talent, you'll lose your talent, right? If you can, anything that you can do, any ability that you can do, if you don't use it for the Lord's going to take it away from you. Yeah. Well, anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But the principle may be true, but in terms of the Lord taking it from you, but it's not talking about skills and abilities. It's talking about money. Because he said, look what it says here. In verse 18, but he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's what? Money. Circle the word money. So what are we talking about? Money. Now, I'm not going to go all, just drop down to verse 24. Then he who received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man. In other words, that was his opinion of his master. See, your opinion of the Lord will affect what you do with money. Did you get that? Some people's opinion of the Lord is that he wants us to be poor because money is the root of all evil, right? Isn't money the root of all evil? The love of money. So when your concept of the Lord is wrong because you've been ill-informed by the word, then it will cause you to do the wrong thing with your money. Or maybe you're a believer who, and I'm not even going to get into tithing and stewardship and giving, but if you have this idea that it's all mine, I made it, I'm going to do what I want to do with it, and there ain't nobody going to tell me, then you're going to have a problem. Okay? Let's see here. So he who received the 1 talent, verse 24 said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And the preachers down here, they receiving tithes and offerings. Okay, anyway. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. So fear also will affect what you do with the money that the Lord gives you to invest.
Amen.
Look, there you have what is yours. But his Lord answered and said, now watch what he called it. When you don't bring back a return on the money that he's given to you, or return on investment, he calls you wicked. He classifies you in the same category as rapists and murderers. No, he says you're wicked. I didn't say that. I didn't write this parable. I'm just telling you. See, I'm just trying to get you to read it the way he said it. He says, you wicked and lazy servants. You knew that I reap where I have not sown. At least that was your opinion of me. And gather where I have not gathered seed. Now, why is this not true? Because the guy who had 5 made 5 more and had 10, and the Lord commended it, and he didn't take it away from him. The guy who had 2 made 2 more and had 4, the Lord commended him and didn't take it away from him. Now what we're going to find here, and you probably already know the story, is the guy who had 1, he took it away from him and gave it to the man with 10. Look here. He says here, you wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. Now, verse 27, so you ought to have deposited my what?
Money.
Circle money. You ought to have deposited my what?
Money.
My money with the bankers. And at my coming, I will have received back my own with interest. Therefore, take the talent or 1,000 pieces of silver from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. Now, here's the thing that the church doesn't get. For that everyone who has, more will be given. What is he talking about? Who had? The man who had 5 that turned it into 10. The man who had 2 who turned it into 4. So when he said, see, like there was a big old stir the other day, this week, with Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Ben Carson said that poverty is really a state of mind. Folks went berserk. How you gonna say that? Well, but the man is right. You don't like him because he's part of the Trump administration. But even a jackass gets it right one time a day. I'm not calling Dr. Carson a jackass. I'm just saying God has spoken through a jackass before. Are you listening to me? So before you discount what someone says because they're a part of the Trump administration, and listen, what he's telling you is, listen, the reason why people are where they are economically is because of how they think. That's all I'm saying. And it's really true. Poverty is basically, or being broke is just a condition that can change. But poverty is a state of mind and a condition of your heart. You understand what I'm saying? And what happens, and we know this, is because a person with a poverty mentality or a person with a poverty spirit, you can give them $200,000, they can win the lottery or something along that line, and you'll find out that in less than 2 years, they'll be bankrupt. This is not my opinion. They've done studies all the time of people who win the lottery, and then some people in the matter of 2 years, they're bankrupt. How you gonna go bankrupt and you won the lottery? Because you don't know what to do with your money. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know the purpose of money. You become poor all over again because you really were poor, you just had money. You didn't even get that. See, just because you have money or don't have money doesn't determine whether you're poor or not. That determines whether you're broke or not. Now, I know you can say, well, that's semantics, but yeah, it is. I'm using it in that way. I hate to use this because it's going to bother you guys. But I'll just use it. I just won't be offensive. There are plenty of multimillionaires and billionaires that have gone bankrupt. But they figured out how to get out of it and going on to have great success. Let me just say it that way so y'all don't kill the messenger with the message. Amen? All right? But there are plenty, anyway. All right. So he said, you should at least brought me back some interest. Verse 28. Therefore take the talent from him and give it to him who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. In other words, the person who takes their money, invests it, and causes it to grow will get more, and that's where abundance comes from. Now watch this. You got to get this, see? Because we've quoted a verse of scripture for years, John 10:10, that Jesus said, the thief comes not but for what? To kill, to steal, and to destroy. But then Jesus said, I am come that you what? Might have life and have it what? More abundantly. So Jesus came for us to have what? Abundant life and what? Abundant life, or life abundant. It is the will of Jesus Christ that we live in abundance. Amen. But it's not enough to know his will. You've got to know how. He's revealing to us how right here. Take whatever you have that he's given you, figure out how to invest it and increase it in order to live in abundance. Amen. Don't be consumers consuming everything that you get and you can't figure out why the promise of God is not working for you. The promise works when you work the principle that is associated with the promise. I mean, people wonder why people have poor health. Well, the primary reasons that people have poor health is what? Poor diet and lack of exercise. All the praying in the world ain't going to change that. Okay? Then verse 30 he said, and cast the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. Then he said there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right? So it's our job. Go with me to Proverbs 31. Now, I started in on this on Mother's Day, but I believe it's the destiny of every Christian woman, every Christian mother, every Christian wife to be wealthy. Amen. The problem is that we've been taught wrong. So, Proverbs 31. This was supposed to be a Mother's Day sermon or series. Did you know that? It's a long way from Mother's Day. Not that long? Okay, cool. Proverbs 31, verse 10. It said, who can find a virtuous wife? Now the word virtuous there actually is a word that refers to a powerful or a wealthy woman. And it says her worth is far above rubies. And then it goes on to talk about her husband's heart safely trusting in her. I'm going to get into this in a minute. I'm going to give you some principles. But this word virtuous is the same word. Go to Deuteronomy 8:18. Anybody here want to be wealthy?
Yes.
No?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Amen.
Is there something inherently evil in being wealthy?
Nope.
All right. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you what?
Power.
To get what?
Wealth.
So if wealth was evil, God would be evil for giving you the power to get it. Now, then he tells you why he wants you to be wealthy. That he may establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers as it is this day. And there are a lot of ways we could go with that. But number one, listen to this. Number one, when he's talking about establishing his covenant, he said, that's what I promised them. Now go back and remember who the fathers were. Abraham, Isaac, and who? And Jacob. All three of them were wealthy. Abraham was called very rich. Isaac exceeded Abraham. He inherited, and that's how it's supposed to be. Listen to me. You know, the Bible says the righteous man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Not just to his children, but to his grandchildren. So as believers, we're the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, right? So we should really be thinking multi-generational. We shouldn't be leaving them with a load of bills or with them having to, do one of those things to bury us. The little campaign, whatever, GoFundMe campaign. Anybody know what I'm talking about? We should be leaving money for our children to be set and our grandchildren to be set. Now, I believe we should be leaving wisdom along with that. Wisdom of how we obtained it, how they continue with it. You understand what I'm saying? So that they don't mess it up. Because if they don't get taught right, they'll still have a poverty mentality and a consumer mentality, and they'll go back and they'll mess it up. Okay? But if you look at Abraham, you'll see that from Abraham to Jacob, Jacob was his child's child. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all wealthy. It should be whatever your name is, whatever your children's name or names are, and whatever your grandchildren are. That's what you need to be thinking about in terms of wealth. Okay? Now, so that's one way to look at this, that he may establish his covenant with you. But there's another way that we need to look at that, is that not only that he establishes it to you personally, but through you, it can be established in the earth. What does that mean? Well, he wants to make you rich, so now you can help to establish his covenant in the earth.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying? In other words, so that you can be a blessing to other people.
Yes.
Whether you're being a blessing to poor children, or whether you're being a blessing to your ministry, the church that you're a part of, or whether you're being a blessing to missions, or whatever it is that you're doing, feeding the hungry, whatever it is, that the covenant may be established through you.
Amen.
We've been taught that it's all right just to have enough, just to barely get by, and it's okay for us just to have our needs met. But that's not the will of God. The will of God is for you to have so much money that you can become a distribution center, that you can become a kingdom distributor. And not just have the money so that everybody is dependent on you, but as people see what God has done for you, then you do like the old, I guess, Indian proverb, or whoever's proverb it is, that, about teaching a man, giving him a fish or teaching him how to fish. And you can give him a fish. Nothing wrong with giving him a fish, but at some point you say, now I'm tired of giving you fish. If you want this, you're going to have to come and learn how I fish. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So he said, now watch this. He said, so the Lord gives us wealth, right?
He gives us the power.
I said the Lord gives us wealth, right? See, the way the church has believed it was somehow God was going to give us the wealth. The word power there, let me just define that for you. The word power there is the word vigor, or force, or capacity, means, ability, and strength. Got it? So what does God provide? Vigor, force, capacity, means, ability, strength.
Amen.
He doesn't give us the wealth.
Amen.
It's his will for us to be wealthy. Now, are you in Deuteronomy 8? Okay, now, I didn't want to really go here, but I want to take the time. Let's go, let's read Deuteronomy 8, starting in verse 1. I'm going to show you something, because I'm going to come to this either this week or next week. But I want you to stick a pin in this in terms of the way you think. Verse 1, every commandment which I command you today, you must be careful to observe. So, number one, we got to do what God says do, right?
Amen.
He says, what's the reason? That you may live, multiply, and then he says, go in and possess the land which the Lord swore to your father. Circle the word land there. All right? Drop to verse 6. You can read all the rest, but I don't have time to deal with all that. Therefore you shall keep the commandments of the Lord your God, to walk in his ways and to fear or reverence him. So, we keep his commandments and walk in his ways. Right? Verse 7. For the Lord your God is bringing you into a good what?
Land.
Circle the word land. How many is that so far?
2.
A what?
Land.
Circle that word. How many is that?
3.
Of brooks, water, fountains, springs that flow out of valleys and hills. Verse 8. A what?
Land.
Now, when God gets redundant, we need to pay attention. A land of wheat, barley, of vines, fig trees, pomegranates. You can't have the wheat, the barley, the vines, the fig trees. You can't have the water, the springs, the hills without the what?
Land.
Okay, a land of what? Olive oil and honey. Verse 9, a what?
Land.
How many is that so far? 6. Huh? You will eat bread without scarcity, and you will lack nothing. So it is the will of God that we what? Lack nothing. A what?
Land.
How many is that?
7.
Whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you can dig copper or brass. Verse 10. When you have eaten and are full, then you shall bless the Lord your God for the good what?
Land.
Which he has given you. Beware that you do not, how many is that? Huh? 9. Beware that you do not forget the Lord your God by not keeping his commandments, and so forth. Verse 12. Lest when you have eaten and are what?
Full.
And have built what?
Beautiful houses.
Beautiful houses. Where do beautiful houses go?
Land.
So what would you say land and houses refer to? What'd you say over there?
Real estate.
Real estate. So what if we went back through there and said real estate? Everywhere where you see land. Okay, anyway. And dwell in them, and when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold are multiplied. So we've gone from real estate to herds, right? Flocks, right? They need what? Land. And then silver and gold, where do you get that from? Out of your land. And they're multiplied. So it's the will of God that our silver and gold be multiplied. What is silver and gold representative of? Of what? And big money, honey. Right? Silver and gold are multiplied. Gold is still somewhere near $1,000 an ounce. An ounce. All right? And all that you have is multiplied. It's the will of God that everything we have is multiplied. You don't have to have one car. Okay, anyway. Verse 14. When your heart is lifted up and you forget the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. The land of Egypt wasn't theirs. It was Egypt's. But he brought them out with wealth when he brought them out. All right? So God wants you to have your own land, not a land where you're a servant there. Now watch this. Remember the Bible says that the borrower is servant or subject to the lender. So really God wants us, in reality, God wants us in debt-free land. And if we can't be in debt-free land that we can purchase ourselves, that we can purchase it and put somebody else in there for them to be able to pay it off. Got it? All right? Let's keep reading. Now, we can read all of this, but let's drop down to verse 17. So he's telling them to beware of some stuff. Don't let your, in other words, now I'm not going to stay on that part, but read from 14 through 17 or 16. But here's what God is saying. Now, I'm going to give you all of this. I'm going to give you all this land. I'm going to give you all all the accoutrements of wealth that goes along with the land. I'm going to give you silver, gold, flocks, and herds. Well, really, he didn't say I'm going to give it to you, because later on he said I'm going to give you the power to get it. Remember, he saw that. But he said, that's what I want you to get, right? But he said, now, when you get that, so in all of your getting of land or wealth or whatever we want to call it, never forget who gave you the power to get it. So that you now, he says, so that your heart gets lifted up and you start feeling like you don't need God. You don't need God. You don't have to do what God says do. You don't have to read your Bible anymore. You don't have to go to church anymore. You don't have to pray anymore. You don't have to treat people right anymore. You can just live any kind of way you want to live, because now you got it. He said, beware. All right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right? In verse 17, then you say in your heart, watch this, my what?
Power.
My vigor, my force, my ability, my strength, my capacity, and the might of my hand have gained me what? What did it say? This what? All right, stop. Look at me. So what is wealth? Let me say it this way. What does the Bible define as wealth? Most people say, well, I have my health, and I have a good family, and friends who love me, so I'm what? No, you're not, bro. I mean, no, you're not. They don't make you wealthy. You know what it means? It makes you healthy. And it makes you have good relationships. But it doesn't make you wealthy. Not biblically wealthy. See, why? You say, yeah, well, that's obvious. If it was so obvious, people wouldn't make the dumb statements that they make. The reason why people make that dumb statement is because it allows you to feel comfortable where you are. I don't need to have a lot of money. I'm wealthy because I have my health. No, you just have health. See, if health and wealth were the same, you wouldn't need a W or an H to differentiate and distinguish between the two, right? They mean two totally different words, two different things. Okay? So now what does the Bible say is wealth? Somebody said it over here. Real estate. Now, in our day, flocks and herds, you can still be rich with cattle today. Okay, you can still be rich with cattle. I just don't want to deal with stanky cattle, but you can still be rich with cattle and sheep and all kinds of good stuff along those lines. If you have enough of it, you can be rich. Right? And then silver and gold. So what the Bible defines as wealth is silver and gold. Now, so then verse 18 says, and you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth. We can say it another way, who gives you the power to get this wealth. So the power to get wealth, and the wealth that he's talking about is everything that he has said in Deuteronomy 8 and above. All right? Now, go to 2 Corinthians chapter 8. Again, I'm saying some things that I wasn't really planning to, but I just like to battle the religious mindset sometimes. Because there are people that are listening to me even on Facebook that are saying, well, that's Old Testament, right? Like it makes a difference. Because let's stop and analyze that statement for a second. All right? He gives us the power to get wealth that he might establish his covenant which he swore to our fathers. Who are the fathers? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, doesn't the Bible says, if you be Christ, then are you Abraham's seed and heirs to the promise? Well, we're heirs then to Deuteronomy 8:18. Right? So that means that we're heirs to the Abrahamic covenant. Isn't that right? But then we know Hebrews tells us that we've been given what? A better covenant built and established upon what? what does the word better mean? More than before. That's a good definition as any. What's better? A $20 bill or a $50 bill? Why? Because it's more. Okay? What's better? $20 or $21? Really? It's just $1 more. So is it better? So the old covenant, the new covenant has to be at least $1 better than the old covenant, right? It'll be at least $1 better. Wouldn't you say that? Okay? Now, I don't want to go into that part theologically, but the reason why the new covenant is better is because it includes all that the Old Testament promised Abraham and his seed, materially, plus the new birth, the baptism of the Holy Spirit, the gifts of the Spirit, the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus. See, the better is on the spiritual side.
Yes.
So it includes everything that was Abraham's blessing on the natural side, plus everything that Christ came to give us on the spiritual side. Now, why am I saying that? Because it's not supposed to be an either or choice. It's supposed to be both and. We get both.
Amen.
We get the old covenant material blessings, and we get the new covenant spiritual blessings. All right? Are y'all understanding this? The word I show you, 2 Corinthians 8. Now, I said that, but let me prove that by the text. 2 Corinthians 8, verse 9. Y'all have it? For you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was what?
Rich.
Though he was rich, yet for your sake he became what?
Poor.
Poor, that you through his poverty might become what?
Rich.
Now notice, circle the word might, because it's not a guarantee. It is his will that you become rich. But you have to use the power to get wealth, or the power to get rich. You have to do something. Now go to Isaiah 48. Somehow, some way, we've come to believe that God wanted the Old Testament saints, or Old Testament believers, better word, who were really servants of God, to be better off than New Testament believers who are sons and daughters of God. That just makes no sense. I mean, let's think about it in this respect then. We know that the Old Testament believers were considered to be servants of God, right? Weren't they? We know that in the New Testament we are considered as what? Sons and daughters of God, right? So, they were servants. How many of y'all in here have children? Raise your hand. Keep your hands down. Right? How many of y'all have children? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay? Now, let's say you hired somebody to clean up your yard. Or let's say you hired molly maids. Or let's say you have a gardener. In a sense, those are your servants. I know we don't like to talk. We don't like to talk that way today, but they are paid servants. Would you want them to do better than your own children? So why do you think God would want Old Testament servants to do better than his New Testament children? It just doesn't make any sense, does it? Now listen to what he says to his Old Testament servants. Isaiah 48, verse 17. Thus says the Lord, thy Redeemer. Is he our Redeemer?
Yes.
Thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Now he's the Holy One of the church. I am the Lord thy God. Is he the Lord thy God?
Yes, sir.
Now watch what it says about him. I am the Lord thy God, which teaches, or teacheth, King James, thee to what? To profit. And which leadeth thee by the way that thou should go. So now, how does God give us the power to get wealth? By teaching us. Now, first of all, that power comes into manifestation by God giving us the ability to learn how to get wealthy. Now listen to this. Listen. God does not have to come and personally visit you to teach you how to get rich. Okay, who's teaching you right now?
You are.
Am I teaching the Word of God?
Yes.
So then could you say that God is teaching through me?
Yes.
Am I showing you anything that's not the word?
No.
So that would mean that God is doing what? Teaching through me.
Right.
I am the teacher, but he is the teacher. Is that right? So what if we just showed up one Sunday and I just sat there and said, okay, God, do your thing and teach? Y'all would look at me like I'm stupid, huh? Probably one of y'all who are teachers would say, Pastor lost his mind, let me get up there and help him out and teach something, right? I don't know if y'all agree. Anyway, but it would seem very stupid or silly for that to happen. So a lot of us are waiting for God to appear to us and teach us. When God has put people in the earth, see, I'm here to teach you spiritual principles and truths. Got it? Now, this might not seem spiritual to you, but it's biblical. So let me use another term. To teach you biblical principles.
Yes.
All right? But God has put other people in the earth to teach you other principles. The problem with us is that we won't go learn from other people that already are wealthy, that are telling you, I want to teach you and help you to get wealthy, but we won't go to them either A, because we don't want to pay. That's usually the biggest reason. Man, please. They're asking $5,000 or $2,000, $2,500 for that seminar. Yeah, but they might make you, 25 million over a lifetime or more. But you can't pay $2,500. Okay, I almost said who, but I won't say that. I won't say that. Thank you, Lord, for putting a bridle before my mouth that I won't say things I shouldn't say. Now, it's interesting to me, too, that this word teacheth in the Hebrew is lamad, and it means to learn and to teach. All right? Now, listen to me. Learning the principles of profit are no more difficult than learning to read, write, do math, drive a car, or perform other complex duties that you do on your job. You got to get that. You need me to say that again? Okay. Learning the principles of profit, P-R-O-F-I-T, are no more difficult than learning to read. You already know how to read, right?
Right.
Somebody has written a book, or in fact, it's easier today because there's a video somewhere or there's a seminar you can go to, but it's no more difficult. Now, remember we're saying when you first started to learn to read, now you know how to read and you read like it's second nature. Got it? But there was trial and error and mistakes and different things along the way when you were learning to what? To read. So it's no more difficult than learning to read, to write, to do math. You know y'all made some mistakes doing math, right? Or driving a car. Now we drive cars like it's, you don't even think about it. You look up and you don't even realize how you got home almost, right?
That's right.
But not when you first started driving, right?
Right.
So, some of you guys have some really complex things that you do at work, right?
Yes.
Am I right? Anybody here does really complex things on your job? But we look at the principles of profit or prosperity, and we act like those are so, far out in space that we shut down and we don't keep trying to learn. So then we stay right where we are. And as soon as somebody starts talking to you about these things, the first thing you say, well, that's not for me. Well, is prosperity for you? Is profit for you? Is abundance for you?
Yes.
It won't be until you learn.
Amen.
Until you allow the Lord to teach you through someone. So that may mean going to a seminar. That may mean getting a mentor. That may mean reading a book. Just to get started, there's YouTube out there. And there's a lot of different ways. Now next week, because I don't have time to do it today, but next week, we're going to go back to Proverbs 31. And we're going to look at a lady there and some principles that she used that were principles of profit. And you know what? These principles are so simple. And they work in so many different areas. The problem is that we just haven't been taught right.
Amen.
Okay? Y'all get anything out of this today?
Amen.
I'm stopping on time today. Say he's stopping on time today.
He's stopping all the time.